as an inspiration for the youth climate movement that has really brought awareness to the climate issue the last couple of years. And I felt like this song is like a gift to them, but also a gift to us, a reminder to all of us that we really need to, I think, change behavior, be aware that this earth is really the only earth we have and we need to honor her. So during this 1 hour live stream, we will talk to politicians, activists, artists, business leaders related to sustainability. We are now located at Mundekulla Retreat Center in Sweden, a place that I run since 20 plus years. I came here after studied Native American history in America, 97. And I had this quote with me: think 7 generations ahead before any important decision. And that quote has been with me ever since. And I've tried to build this whole place on sustainable approach the whole way. The food we serve, the way we build, and the way we run this whole place. But now I'd like you to meet some different people that has been involved in this project, but also that I feel inspired by. First, we're gonna meet Richard, the producer of this song. Since 3 months back, we've been working really hard to make this happen. We've been trying to get people to get engaged, and now we have people from more than 25 different countries who should actually join the song. At the end of this broadcast, at 1 o'clock, we will share this song for the first time, the music video. And right after that, this song is going to be the introduction of the UN conference being broadcasted all over the world that will go on from 1 o'clock and for the coming 12, 13 hours with wonderful, interesting, inspiring speakers on the field of sustainability going on all day. This due to the fact that it's the World Environmental Day today. The producer, Richard, he has made 50 files of music as this song has evolved, with more artists, more vocals, more singing, and now we are finally ready. But let's move on and let's hear what he has to say related to this project.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Welcome, Richard, the producer of the song. We started this project in the beginning of March, and I came and asked you, you want to be part of this project? And you said yes, but did you know what you said yes to?
You can never be sure of everything, but yes, I'm still, it's a wonderful project, and I'm very happy to be part of it, yeah.
Yeah, how is it to mix all those voices that have come from pretty much all over the world?
Oh, it's a great challenge, and it's wonderful to hear all the different voices and dialects and feelings from. We have literally all over the world.
Mm. And first, we created a demo song. We brought in a choir, and we kind of like had it like a demo. But it feels like the final result will sound quite different from the original version.
Yeah, and that was also the purpose to bring in other creators from all over the world. What is your voice and feel about this?
Is there something that has touched you specifically?
Well, it's my friend in South Africa. He's called Kenyan from the Xhosa tribe, and he's also in the parliament in South Africa, and he's singing for the earth in his language, and it's very beautiful. And I love when that meets, for instance, the Sami singer Elin Taylor, who's also a friend of mine, and they do the same thing, but in their totally different languages, and very, very north and very south, and that's when it goes together like this.
And then we got from Tibet and from Kurdistan and Senegal and
yes, it's fantastic. France, all over.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. So is there something special with the indigenous people that is touching you, also related to the theme?
Yeah, I think that often indigenous people, they have lived very close to the nature, and they have listened to the nature, and they have a lot of advice that how to treat it. Take, for instance, in Australia, where the Aborigines have all kinds of ways of handling the fires, and how they know for hundreds of years how to deal with this. But the Western civilization didn't want to listen to it. And then we had these fires, and look at what happens now in the climate problems. We haven't listened to indigenous people or other singers about what Mother Earth means. This is the only place we have. So this is I think I do share.
Yeah, that's pretty much the theme of the song, to hear the voice of the ancestors saying, honoring our Mother Earth, honor our Mother Earth.
Yeah, to treat it like a friend. I mean, it's not something you just get what you need and just take it. And then, I mean, like, take for instance, the Sami people, they have a tradition when you take water from a source, from a spring, then you say thank you, logically.
Feel like you're part of something, feel like it is your mother. You don't take from mother, you honor your mother, yeah. And of course, I shows you for a special reason, but we've known each other for quite some time now. And you're, I'd say, highly recommended producer in Sweden that has been doing music for a long period of time and performed with so many of the famous and the super good musicians in Sweden. But over the last couple of years, you focus more on building up your studio, your piano, and doing certain projects.
Yeah, I've been touring a lot all over the world. I played in South Africa, Iceland, India, all over. But recently, the last years, as you say, I'm working a lot in my studio, and people are coming here, and I get projects from all over the world. And I've been working with a lot of different kinds of music. So it's great to incorporate these different kinds of music in this song to show the diversity. We have, as you say, Kurdistan, and we have Sami songs. I even put in a little bit of salsa touch in some.
I can sense that. World music. Well, we're about to listen to the song very soon. I'm very happy and inspired and interested to hear the result that you have done over the last couple of weeks. So thank you very much for being part of this project and for joining the interview.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye for now.
Bye.
Over the last couple of years, there's one person that has become very much in the focus, known to very many people, Greta Thunberg. Not due to the fact that she wants to stand in the center, get attention, but due to the fact that, as I see it, a very strong urge, a very strong need to speak out and say, hey, watch out, we need to be aware. I know that there's a lot of young people feeling the same way, as well as middle-aged people like me, as well as elders. I also know that there has been people from ancient traditions, from indigenous cultures, that has been saying this for ages, over and over again, but we haven't listened. And the question is, do we dare to listen now? In this song, I decided to involve and engage people from indigenous cultures. And now we will speak to Elin Taylor's Sami Woman. Sami is the people in the north of Sweden who has lived, actually the only culture in Europe where there's people still living according to their native rules. Let's listen to her and let's get inspired about her and her people's relationship to the earth.
I'd like to welcome Elin Taylor, representative from the Sami people of Sweden. You're part of the indigenous tribe in the north of Sweden and actually north of Scandinavia. You have a specific way of singing that you also use in the song called yoik. Maybe you could start just sharing a couple of words about that.
Yes, so thank you for having me. And yes, the yoik is the Sami traditional way of singing. And when you, it's a way of remembering life and to bring something alive. When you yoik something, you bring it alive with you. So that could be someone that maybe is not in the physical world anymore. But when you yoik them, they are here with us. And that means that you are, you don't need to feel alone because you can yoik them and they can be close to you.
That's like a way of getting in contact with the ancestors, or like building that relationship even when they passed away.
Yes, and you can also, I mean, you can yoik nature, you can yoik the animals, and it's also a way of expressing your, like your feelings, and maybe you want to express something that you feel that you love, or so it's a way of, yeah, in a way also honoring life. And
we'd be interested to hear a little bit about your background, because I know that you grew up in the city life, like many, I think, people have done these days, and then you kind of like started to look into your roots and found your way back to the Samis again. What impact has that had in your life, and the importance of finding your roots, and yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I believe for me that made a very big change, and I believe that for everyone is so important to feel these roots and to know who you are. And it basically started when my grandmother, when she passed away, I felt this strong feeling, like calling to go up in the north to the village where my father comes from. The name of that place is Ucha, and I stayed there with the elders, and especially one woman, and she filled in the blanks for me. And it was also in contact with the land there that I started to joik, because the land taught me, and it was like a remembering. It was already there in me, but it had to be like initiated.
No one really taught you how to sing. It just came to you, because it sounds really beautiful when you do it, and it sounds very much, it's a way of singing that I don't think anyone can do. I can do it myself the way you do it. So I think it's the theme of the song is honoring our Mother Earth, and it feels like that's pretty much what you represent in a way, or that way of singing, and also your approach. What does that bring out in you when you think of that theme, honoring our Mother Earth?
Well, I feel that I mean, it's the base of my life, and I feel that I am her, she's me. So and I also feel that when I connect to her and I feel that relationship, then I know who I am, and I believe, like for everyone, that we can feel that connection and really honor that relationship. We also know we can also let her guide our lives, and then we know what to do. And we also can feel that if we hurt her, we hurt ourselves. And so you can in connecting with her and feeling her like in a very simple way, then you can have that relationship in a continuation that is solid and respectful. Yes.
Wonderful.
So of course the theme, I was when you asked me to join, it felt like a big yes. And I also believe that when you're gathering people from all over the world like that, feeling those voices for her, or to stand up for her, that unites us. And we need that to feel that we're together.
So I'd like to thank you very much for being part of this and for joining in this interview, and we look forward really much to hear you sing and the song itself.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for writing this song, which is a beautiful honoring of the future for this world. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Yes, there's certainly something to learn from these ancient traditions. In the Western world, we say that we live in a civilized world, but one can really ask, what does a civilized world mean? Is it civilized to actually run our businesses, our organizations, live our lives in a way that we actually kill the mother where we all come from, the one common mother, no matter what color, no matter what religion, no matter what tradition, no matter what country, no matter where in the world, we all have the same mother. And what if we would care and honor her like it was our own mother? 100 years ago, one earth was enough for all of us. Now we need 4 earths related to the way we live in the Western world. Let's listen a little bit more to indigenous cultures. We will move to South Africa and talk to Kenya from the Xhosa tradition. Also a man who grew up with his indigenous culture, but who moved towards a city, and there he saw the difference. But then he also realized that we need to make a change. Let's listen to Kanya, and also an artist joining the song, but also an activist and a politician.
Okay, it's great to have Kanya from South Africa with us here today. And I know that you're a musician, you're singing beautifully on this song. You're also a politician, or you rather like to call yourself activist. I know that the South African society is very different from the Swedish society where I come from. You have the history of apartheid and challenges and also political struggles. But share a little bit about where you come from and what you want to achieve with your engagement.
Yes. No, thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Kanya Ceza. I was born in a small rural town of Pedi in the Eastern Cape here in South Africa. I'm from a Xhosa background. Xhosa nation is one of the nations in the Eastern Cape, amongst many other tribes there. And Ricard comes in at a time when I'm already an activist, right? So he invited me on this one, where he asked me to look into the song, and he told me that the song involves everyone around the world. So I was quite impressed.
You did a little part there. What do you sing actually? Because you sing in Xhosa, your own native language, don't you?
Yes, I sing in Xhosa there. I think at the outro and in the intro of the song.
And what do you say when you what are you saying in the words?
But I basically talk about the we need to be together, right? When we have a collective voice to save the Mother Earth, it's much more powerful to speak, because music as the very powerful music.
I know even back in the apartheid times in '94 that there was very much music that it pretty much changed the whole society. There was like the background of everything, wasn't it?
Yes, the music, we use music here at home for everything. We use music for weddings, we use music for funerals, we use music for any event, for just us celebrating, for us being at peace, reminiscing, sitting together as peers, reminiscing about the past. We use music for parties and so forth. So we're quite a social society in that way. So music for us is sort of a tool, was sort of a tool to send a message against the apartheid system to the world, so that the world can mobilize. So in this way here, we can do this. I think this will do the same in terms of ensuring that people are quite aware that there is environmental violence that is happening against Mother Earth, and we need to take care for our children and our children's children to find Mother Earth as intact as it is. So for me, I hope that I'm whatever background, the background of my tribal background in the farm villages there, reflects on the things that I'm doing and on the example that I'm trying to lead, and to influence society in the right path in terms of the right behavior.
Wonderful to hear. We will move on now, but thank you very much for joining this interview, and thank you very much for joining the project and the song.
Yes, thank you very much. A wonderful song. Thank you.
Happy to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
There are many ways to act and engage to bring more awareness in this world. I think the ancient traditions knew that the earth was a living being. We had to treat her right. We have to treat her nicely. We talk about human rights, which is super important, not the least in these days of demonstration and corona times and what's happening around us. But what about nature's rights of nature? Does the nature have any right to be, or does it belong to us humans? We will now move on and speak to another activist, Pella. She's been engaged here in Sweden for many years and also international in the Fridays for Future, but as well as nature's rights movement or the rights of nature and something called End Ecocide. Let's move on and hear her approach on the issue.
I'm honored to have Pella here with me today, a very powerful, engaged woman that I've known for somewhat more than 10 years. And you've had a strong engagement in the transition movement for a long time here in Sweden. And also now very much in the nature's right and ecocide. But let's talk about the nature's rights. What is that and how does that come across?
Yeah, so we all know that humans have rights, and the rights of nature movement is saying that actually everything that exists have rights that and needs to be respected. And that's an idea that's very powerful because it fundamentally challenges the idea that's prevalent in the Western civilization, that humans are separate from the rest of the world, and that that the rest of all the living things are resources for us, like objects or commodities, and that we can control and dominate all other living things. And as we all know, we see the consequences of that very old idea that we have been living with for hundreds of years, and that we now need to shift.
So the nature rights movement, if I understand it right, it was like 10 years ago, 2010. It was like a big event taking place in Bolivia after the COP climate meeting. That didn't turn out so well, and then the president there kind of gathered people. Have you seen any optimistic things happening over those 10 years as you follow the movements and so
yeah, definitely. So in Bolivia in 2010, there was a huge meeting on the rights of Mother Earth and climate change, and a draft declaration for the rights of Mother Earth was written. So balancing the Declaration of the Human Rights, basically. And since that time, it's been an incredible development of the rights of nature on different levels in the world and all over the world. So for example, in New Zealand, there has been laws saying that forests and rivers and a mountain are legal subjects with rights. And in the US, there are local communities protecting their local ecosystems by saying that they have rights to exist, that trumps the rights of companies. And there are many, many examples on different levels of courts upholding the rights of rivers, for example. And in Ecuador, even before the adoption of the Declaration of the Rights of Mother Earth, Ecuador included rights of nature in their constitution. So it's kind of boiling of different initiatives now.
Oh, wonderful. Hopefully also this awareness comes now also with the corona, that people in countries start to think on a deeper level, where is our next step to actually make this corona transition to the better. I'm also thinking about End Ecocide that you've also been engaged in. How does that differ, and what's happening in that organization?
So ecocide as an international crime is an idea to say that we all know now that we are destroying ecosystems in a systemic way and in a global manner that's threatening the human civilization and actually life as we know it. And since we have a global economy now, we have to have global frameworks for regulation. We have to have sanctions to hold companies to account, and we don't have that. So we have a global economy, but we don't have global rules.
How many people know about this? How many governments and countries kind of like take this into account? Is it yet a dream, or is it actually something that someone is working with it on a hardcore level?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem, that it's not known and it's not perceived as possible. So as I say, it's actually quite simple. We could agree on giving ourselves better rules, and we could do that tomorrow. But it's not well known still. So that's why I'm happy to be here talking about it as well.
That's why you engage yourself in it. Wonderful. We're going to move on here, but it's wonderful to hear about Nature's Right and Ecocide, and as two strong movements that you're kind of like spreading knowledge about.
Yeah.
So thanks for engagement and honoring our Mother Earth in that way.
Exactly, and give your name for a declaration of the rights of Mother Earth at rightsofmotherearth.com.
Rightsofmotherearth.com.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pella, for joining here and letting us know more about Ecocide and Nature's Right, those strong movements that you're really spreading information about. Thank you for doing that.
Thanks a lot, Peter. I look so much forward to listen to your song.
Yeah, it's going to be wonderful. It's up in a minute, you know. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
When I was younger, I used to think that the only problem in this world is all the businesses. If we would just let that down, things would be so much easier. That might be true to one extent, but I also believe in conscious company. You can run a business in different ways. When I run this business since 25 years back almost, I always try to buy from other sustainable businesses and organizations to help them to prosper, and together we become a bigger and bigger network year by year, and that's what I've seen since I started in '98. Now we will move on and speak to the CEO of the foundation called Good Cause here in Sweden. Social entrepreneurs running an organization that actually has the intention to help Mother Earth, do good to people, and have fun at the same time.
I'm happy to have Pontus with me here today from Good Cause, producing positive good electricity. I know the founder, Stefan Klug, who's founded your company 15 years ago, and I've followed your path since the very beginning, and I also use good ale myself. Happy to have you with me. And could you tell a little bit about your philosophy with the company and your challenges and the possibilities you can see?
Thank you. It's great to be here, although digital. Good Cause is a foundation that actually starts and have companies in order to make the world a better place.
Wonderful.
So all the profit that the companies make goes to the foundation that in that part gives the money to NGOs, non-governmental organizations, or charity.
So there's a percentage of the money coming in that actually goes to charity.
Well, in the end, it's actually 100% of the profit, although we have to be a financially stable company. So we have some money on the bank, but if we, against all odds, would quit the company tomorrow, all the money would go to charity. Of course, I get a salary, but it's below the average in the business. I don't have any bonuses, or our owner, which is in this case a foundation, don't get anything in personal revenues. So all our profit goes to the foundation. All employees on Godel have a salary, but it's what we get, no bonuses and no leakage to anything else.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And then you produce electricity, and that's kind of a little bit challenging. How can we make that sustainable?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we all need to use electricity, but in order to make the electricity as positive impact as possible, we try to be a bit think a bit different than our colleagues in the branch. So we have 100% renewable energy, but nevertheless they have CO2 equivalent emissions. So we actually 1 year ago we became the first climate positive energy supplier in the world. And that means that we compensate 110% of all our emissions in our total value chain. So we do that with 100% transparency and with the most reliable partners in the world in order to avoid like the greenwashing, and also without raising the price to the end consumer.
Oh, wonderful. Stefan, who's founded the company 15 years ago, he was quite a new to create like a good cause company, kind of that concept of a social entrepreneur. I know that many people have followed in those footsteps, not only because of you, but because maybe the world needs it. And that's what I think also maybe young people, also people stepping into leadership roles like you today, they have different ideas about, I don't want to just work at a company for the sake of earning money or build a career. I want to do something good with my life. Is that something you can relate to?
I can really relate to that. And I mean, I want to have a job. I need a salary, but why would I spend my time on destroying the planet when I could do the opposite and actually make the world a better place? So I get a lot of energy from working at a company like Godel or similar, of course, and we can see that so clear with all our employees that our employee engagement is really, really high, and a lot of guests coming to our office when our office is not corona closed. They say that they really can feel the vibes, and they can see how we behave different than other companies. And I think due to the fact that we are constructed the way we are.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think you're in this live stream. I think it's really nice to have get the voice from a company. Is there anything else you want to say before we move on here to them?
Well, what I think is really important to say is that we are a company, so we need customers and we need money in our bank in order to survive. The business at Godel is going really, really good. So we are actually the fastest growing electricity supplier in Sweden, and which means that we are growing, we earn a lot of money, and in the end we can make the world a better place, and our compensation in the climate makes the climate a better world to live in. To do business by doing good is a good business model.
Business by doing good is a good business model. Yeah, that's a good quote.
Exactly.
Could you say, do you have a summary of those 15 years? How much money had you given to people in need, organizations?
So we have given a bit more than 7 million euros to charity.
Wonderful.
And then we have done a lot of projects, which is not just to give money, but to be included in making the world a better place. So it's both the money to the ones that really need it, but it's also to be a force in the society to show that you really can do good instead of the opposite.
Wonderful. I love the idea that many people wants to work in your place. I think that really shows something, that people are really there for doing good than earning money or whatever cost it might be today. So thank you very much for joining this interview, and let's move on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
May the force be with you.
Yeah, same to you. Bye.
It's easy to generalize and to say the leaders of today don't take their responsibility. What if we would have better leaders? I tell you what, there's a lot of good leaders out there. We just need to listen to them. We just need to create a forum where we can actually act according to some of the leaders' intentions. I've known Per Holmgren since many years now. He's been very engaged in the climate issue here in Sweden for 20 plus years. Now he's in the European Parliament in Brussels representing the Green Party. We will now move over to him and see what he has to say related to the climate issue, what has happened over the years since he first started, and what are challenges, but also an optimistic approach, what we can do about it.
I'm happy to have with me here Per Holmgren from Brussels, representing the Green Party in the European Parliament. I would like to hear a little bit from you, both the challenges that you see with the climate change and how we're facing it, how it works with the politicians, and also the optimistic approach. What is actually happening? What potential can you see? But let's start with the challenges. What is not working? What are we facing?
Well, we're really facing a global warming that will continue probably for decades ahead. Actually, even more or less what we do now, because as a former meteorologist, climate expert, this is my expertise area, and I've been working with these issues now for many decades. And I'm actually rather new into in politics. I got involved in the Swedish Green Party a year and a half ago, and then elected.
You were asked, and then you felt like maybe this could be a way to actually have a stronger impact.
Definitely. They approached me a year and a half ago and asked me if I wanted to be on the list for the European Parliament, and I really had a hunger and aspiration to work with climate change and sustainability at large, I would say, more on an international level. In a way, I was there already from the beginning, and now I'm in the other end of the scale, if you would say so, in the political.
From the 80s
sphere.
up to now, what has happened?
Well, on the good side, I mean, the awareness, not the least during the last couple of years, thanks to Greta and others in the Fridays for Future movement. But on the negative end, of course, in a way you could say that there's been 30 years of ongoing increasing amounts of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So, I mean, the situation now is so much worse than it was 30 years ago. 30 years ago,
a lot of talking, but not so much acting. Is that the general?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 30 years ago, we could definitely have solved this just by a smarter way with new technology and a smarter way of handling economy, etc. But now we need huge behavioral changes and maybe, I mean, we cannot any longer hope that technology alone can save us anymore. We really need to transform the whole society from the bottom up. The political challenge right now is that when we are going to invest this huge amount of money to restart the European economy, and I mean it's the same in the United States and everywhere on the planet, we need huge investments now to make sure that people, well, first of all, that the economy itself don't collapse, and of course also that people can still go to work, etc., etc. But then when we invest these huge amounts of money, we really need to focus on investing in the parts of the society that really is the parts that really are sustainable.
What can you see in the greater picture, in the world at large? What is happening in the positive way in politics? Are there any agreements that we actually live according to, that actually really makes differences, or is this business as usual as you see it?
No, I think slowly there actually are a lot of good things happening right now. I mean, historically you could say that we in the Green parties and other progressive parties were at one end of the spectra, and then you had the more or less extreme conservative parties on the other hand side of the spectra. And then of course you had all those more middle of the road parties, the major parties that we have in most countries here in Europe. They were sort of torn in between these two extreme sides. But there I really feel that a lot of them are now moving into the sustainable direction. Unfortunately, they're doing this a bit too slow, and they're not doing it 100%. But at least they are moving in the right direction, and that is, of course, very, very good and important.
Anyway, Pa, we're going to move on in this program, but I'm very grateful that you could join and give a little bit more of a politician's perspective on this issue.
Thank you very much, Peter, and I really hope to be able to visit Mundekulla, hopefully already this summer, I hope so.
Always welcome.
Yeah, bye, thank you.
Bye.
I've mentioned before that there's people from more than 25 different countries who actually joined in on this song. I asked some of them to record something and say something about their relation to the song and the theme in itself. So now I set up a video of some different thoughts along the way. Let's listen to them.
Yes, my name is Sami Woman. I come from Uganda. I'm so happy to be part of this project of Mother Earth. Yeah, I love the nature, as you see back. These are all our natures. So I encourage everyone. Now I see some rabbits are running away. So that's nature. So if we keep the nature clean, I think our grandsons and daughters will be enjoying this beautiful nature. Let us keep the nature clean. Let us keep everything clear. Thank you so much.
I want to be one voice in a choir of millions, billions of voices from all over the planet saying, this is the time to fall in love with Mother Earth. We can't continue destroying the foundation for life. We are part of Mother Nature, and when we are destroying her, we are also destroying us. This is the time to reconnect, to cooperate, to thrive as human beings, living in sync with the ecosystems of the planet. We need a systemic change, and every decision that we make needs to be beneficial for the next 7 generations. Now is the time to fall in love with Mother Nature and with ourselves. This is a time for love.
Honoring the Mother Earth. I'm so happy to be a part of this musical project. Love to all this dear world.
Hello everyone, I'm Vivica from Stockholm, Sweden. And the reason I'm doing this is because I believe that with compassion and courage, we can change this together.
Hello, my name is Charlotte. I live in Burgundy, France. I was so honored to be part of this beautiful project honoring Mother Earth. I'm part of a team called Listening to the Earth. We're inviting people around the world to be listening to the Earth, listening to the Earth's wisdom that she may guide us in these challenging times of transition. And it's one of the many ways to honor her. And why honor her? Well, look at this cherry tree. Look at the abundance, the generosity of nature, and all this beauty that she's constantly offering us. This amazing loving beauty. So yes, let's honor Mother Earth every day of the year, on Environment Day, but also every day of the year. And thank you, Mundekulla, for enabling us to express our gratitude and join hands in honoring Mother Nature.
Hello from Malmö, Sweden. It's so nice that we all can connect together in a song.
Earth Project.
Because we like the song. We were honored to sing this song and take part in this global world action. When our Earth is in such trouble with fires, we hope to call all the people
to be responsible and take care about our Earth.
Hello, my name is Rosmarie Grune. I will join this honoring of Mother Earth because the Earth is so important for us and we need to take care of our Earth. Therefore, I will sing honoring of Mother Earth.
Mother Earth for me is nature, people, but most important right now for me is equality.
Hello everybody, Desidele. I would like to thank you, Peter, to give me this wonderful opportunity. Yeah, I shared my voice and the mantra of compassion to show how much I love the Mother Earth and how much I do care the Mother Earth. Especially how much I do really care the surviving of the Mother Earth. Thank you.
Namaste, Sudha from Copenhagen here. I am so happy and honored and proud to be part of this beautiful project of honoring our Mother Earth. And one of my main reasons was to give voice to these beautiful beings, these amazing, gentle giants, the trees in our world, and also some of my best friends. So yes, on behalf of our tree brothers and sisters, I wanted to share my voice. I hope you're all enjoying it.
We join the children of the world to sing this song, honoring Mother Earth. Thank you.
I'm honoring Mother Earth. I wanted to join the project because I love the song and I love to sing. And it is really important that we take care of Mother Earth. So this is a beautiful way to spread the word.
Hi, my name's Mary. I want peace all over the world.
Hello everyone, my name is Lisa. I just want to thank Peter Elmberg for allowing me to participate in this wonderful project of his song honoring our Mother Earth, his global collaboration that is going to be released on World Environment Day on June 5th.
And now is the time to finally release this song. We've worked really hard the last 3 months to make this happen, and the last couple of weeks more than full time. We've received voices from more than 25 different countries, and many of them I don't even know how they heard about the project. I'm honored to be part of this, and now, finally, let's listen to the ancestors. Listen to the earth, honoring our Mother Earth.
Together, there is nothing we cannot do.
We join the children of the world to sing this song, honoring Mother Earth.
Our voices calling, our voices prophet, the voice of our ancestor, saying honor our Mother.
One voice in the night, one voice pure and bright, one voice turns on the light,
One voice of a child, one voice being heard,
One voice for the world,
one voice here to serve, one voice of a girl,
one voice shows the
its reflection,
reaching for connection. One voice is calling out. One voice is free of doubt. The voice of our ancestors,
saying honor our Mother Earth, honoring our Mother Earth. One voice soft and clear,
one voice drawing near,
one voice without fear,
one voice that really cares,
one voice without end,
one voice makes amends,
one voice who can't pretend,
one voice gather friends,
one voice with one desire,
to stop our house on fire.
One voice becomes a choir,
where everyone's required. Our voice is calling out. Our voice is free of doubt. The voice of our ancestors, saying honor our Mother Earth. Our voice will find its way. Honoring our Mother.
Our voice has come to stay.
Honoring our Mother.
Our voice is what it takes.
Honoring our Mother.
Our voice for a better day.
Honoring our Mother.
Our
voice with one desire,
to stop our house on fire. Our voice becomes a choir,
where everyone's required. Our voice is calling out. Our voice is free of doubt. The voice of our ancestors, saying honor our Mother Earth. Honoring 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 our Mother Earth. One voice, many voices. One choice, many choices. One voice, many voices. One choice, many
Our voice is calling out. Our voice is free of doubt. The voice of our ancestors, saying honor our Mother Earth. Our voice is strong enough. Our voice is really drowned. The voice of our ancestors, saying honor our Mother Earth. Honoring our Mother Earth. Honoring our Mother Earth. Honoring our Mother Earth.
Thank you for this live stream and for joining us. I've decided to do 2 more live streams on this project as an update. Today on the 5th of June, we released the song. On the 5th of July, we will do an update and have some more discussions with interesting people. And the 5th of August, we'll have a final update, part 3, where we will even more so talk about it. And that's also when we have our music festival here in Mundekulla. So you can join that online, if not on place. Now, the song will be spread out in the world through the UN conference starting at 1 o'clock. Read more about that on musicforpeace.se and hope to see you back. And apply for our newsletter, if not the least.